Hey, it's Nick here from DMBlitz, and this is the official DMBlitz tutorial. We're going to go over a bunch of the different tabs here, and then we're going to start to focus in on the campaigns tab. But when you first log in, you're going to have a dashboard. It's going to show you your total messages sent today, your total messages in total, how many replies you got over time. Underneath that, you have some response tracking. You can click these little arrows here to go right to those responses in case you want to follow up with your prospects. You're going to spend most of your time in the campaigns tab. This is where you're going to kind of set everything up. We'll touch back on this in just a moment. Underneath the prospects tab, this is where you can add your prospects. You just click on add new list. You can import your prospects however you see fit. Underneath the browsers tab, this is kind of like the inner workings of DMBlitz. This is listing all the different browsers that you have running for accounts. So say you have 10 accounts, you're going to see 10 different browsers here and their statuses. So you'll kind of be able to just check in on everything, and if it gets cluttered, you can always hide your offline browsers, which is nice. My favorite tab is actually the messages tab. Kind of tells you everything that's going on. So your accounts, as they send messages, you'll get a log of whether the message was an error or whether the message was a success, and you'll be able to check in on all that. You'll be able to see the kind of like the messaging timeline here, the first button, and then the next button. If you click that, it will actually bring you right over to the Instagram message that you sent. So super important to make sure your account is sending messages successfully. And then the next tab is the CRM. If you're trying to organize leads, if they're interested, they're not interested, filtering their responses, here's a great place to do it. Underneath the settings tab, you can kind of change little things like your image, your name, email, password, time zone. I like to use US Central just because it's related to where I live. Underneath the subscription tab, this is where you sign up for your plan, right? So you can get your first basic plan, you can upgrade all the way up to 50 accounts. If you need more than 50, just reach out to me. If you have any questions in general, reach out to me. You want to know, how do I scale from 1 account to 2 to 5 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40? How do I do that? I'm a wealth of information, happy to help you with your campaigns. If you get stuck or you have general questions, reach out to me here. Best place to reach out to me, Telegram. Followed by WhatsApp, and then finally email. So ideally, just talk to me on Telegram. I'm happy to help you out. Underneath the extension tab, this is what you're going to click to get the extension DMBlitz. You're just going to have a button here, add it to Chrome. Actually, I have already, so I don't need to add it. And then that brings us back to the campaigns tab. This is where you're going to do all your action. So I already have 2 campaigns running. It's sending messages, replies, processing. This button here pauses campaigns. So if you need to pause a campaign, easy as that, just one click. If you need to go in and check out the campaign and change some of the settings, you can do that with the little eye symbol. It gives you a bunch of different tabs here that you can use to change things up if you have to change messages and such. So you can also delete campaigns, but we won't be doing that because you're going to leave them running. But if you're just starting out, you're going to add a new campaign. You can enter in a name, put in whatever you want. The description, it doesn't matter. It's really for you. So just leave yourself some notes in here. You're messaging business owners specifically for your industry, right? You're going to choose a time zone. It usually defaults to your local time zone, so that's pretty helpful. Just make the time zone make sense. So, maybe 6:57 p.m. to all the way till, later in the day, something like that, okay? Click next. This is where you're going to upload your prospects, right? So if you have a CSV file of leads, if you have just a raw list, all you have to do is just put in a list name and put a bunch of usernames in, separated by commas. If you need help with this, I can help you scrape usernames. It's not a problem. Just reach out to me. If you're familiar with JSON files, great spot to put it. And then there's also the in-house scraping system. So we can scrape followers and followings. So if you're going to scrape followers, you just enter in a name and then the Instagram username. So whoever your prospect is, you want to message, the followers of Elon Musk. You would just enter that, create the list, and you're good to go. In this case, we'll just use something that I already have existing. We'll just use one of the existing leads here. You click next, brings you to your sequences. Right, so you want to add your variations here. I like to do around 3 to 5 variant messages for sending, just because you don't want them to all be exactly the same, because you'll just come across as spam. So first message, hey, variant number 2, hey, what's up? variant number 3, how's it going? You know, you get the idea here. You can also delete variants if you put in too many. What we're getting at here is that you want to say the same thing, but you kind of want to say it a little different each time. If you need help with campaigns or designing, you know, what to say to people, what's a good hook to get people to respond to you, happy to help with that as well. You can add follow-ups. Each follow-up will reach back out to a prospect after 1 day. And then again, you can do the same thing here. You can add your variants, you know, put in your variations of the message, you know, why aren't you messaging me, stuff like that. Delete the variants, whatever you need to do here. Delete it in general and just stick with the first message. Click on next. Now it brings you to your accounts. This lists your accounts here, gives you the status, whether online, offline. You're going to choose your account. Click next, and then you're going to be done. Obviously, this account's already using another campaign, so it can't be completed. So what you could do, technically, is just kind of switch over here. Go to your browsers, right, your campaigns. Click on, like, pause, for example, for account number 15, and then switch it to this one. Click next. Success, right? Create the campaign, start the campaign, and that pretty much kicks everything off. You're gonna see over here, this little Instagram tab is where all the magic happens. Underneath the messages, you're gonna see that the messages are sending out, and they send out at a rate that's not gonna, you know, get you in trouble, get you detected for spam or anything like that. But that's pretty much all you have to do. When you first log into Instagram, if you're familiar, when you log in, there's a little thing that pops up. It says, you know, do you want to save your information? You click save. That's really all you need to do. You, for the most part, don't need to have this open. You just keep that closed for the most part. It'll do everything it needs to in this little tab. And as that campaign starts kicking off, you'll see the messages coming through. And again, you can go click that little eyeball, bring into all the settings if you need to change settings, something like that. For example, you know, oh, I started a campaign, but it's not sending messages. Probably because your time is off. So think about your current time, put it back a few hours from that. You know, and you can say 11:57 a.m. You know, it's 2:01 for me, so it's definitely going to be within that range, right? To we can say 10:57 p.m. Click save, and what you'll notice is that clicking on, just in case like you wait for a little while and nothing's happening, that's kind of like the quick easy fix to get your campaign running. You can always check your prospects, edit them, refresh them, whatever you need here. Underneath your sequences, if you need to edit that, double check your accounts, make sure everything's good, and then sometimes you can see replies start to filter here. But yeah, that's about it in a nutshell. Super simple, super effective. If you have any questions, again, just reach out to me. Click on subscription, and then you can contact support here. Find me here, and I look forward to getting you a ton of messages, right? So ideally in your campaigns, what you want to do is kind of warm your account up. You know, start at 10 messages per day, go up to 20, go up to 30, up to 40, and then eventually hit 50. 50 is pretty much the maximum for Instagram right now as far as their spam filters go. 50 messages per account. You could have 10 accounts, so 500 potential leads per day. You know, you're going to make a ton of sales. Be super efficient at that for sure. But yeah, talk to you soon.